What's up, guys? Apologize for the hiatus. I'm actually kind of glad because I feel like it gives people breath and enough time to digest all the stuff that I've been posting. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm really happy to say that the restoration process is going phenomenally. I've pretty much knocked out practically everything. Now, finished the workout routine section. Um, Still need to work on the cookings of a master, which again, that series is based on watching my mom cook. My own way of learning how to cook while creating a library for myself for people who are interested. And then I pretty much finished recording or producing all the Cultivating Your Life Force videos from the footage that I found. And now I'm having to essentially re-record the ones that I couldn't find. And then for the self-help, pretty much found most of them, apart from like a few, which obviously had to be the key ones: the tiger swag surfing, how to swag surf with harmonic resonance for the earth, swag surfing in the G fields, the reason why you get tired when you run part 2, and how to glitch yourself into perpetual awesomeness and upgrade. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those, but oh well. And then it's just been some really weird last weeks. Just going out of town, back and forth. My mom is currently out of town, grieving her sister. So I'm like having to be babysat by my family. So the thing is, I have to have class. So I'm in California right now, but then around like Thursday every week, I have to go back into Austin, and it kind of sucks. Like I'm like all this shit, like really babysat. And I'm like, you know what? I guess maybe it's my karma. Wasn't always the nicest kid in the past, and it's my actions that caused them or led them to act this way towards me, and it sucks. But I guess I've hoped that those relationships eventually will become much better than they've ever been. Just gotta continually showing them that I'm fucking awesome and I'm a good path. So that's been but solid things on my mind, right? So ideas on my mind. One of them is I've been thinking about YouTube, right? And what if they could create a recover function or button for creators or YouTubers that just like adding it to the interface, right? The front end. So I don't know how they would implement it, but under a video, like in the video manager, you could click on the button, you click on the video, or if you saw a deleted video on your playlist, you could click recover, right? And this is essentially for when you've deleted content. My thing is, it would really help a lot of people out, maybe even people who've either been hacked or maybe even like accidentally deleted our content like me and trying to get it back, because some of those videos, I just really enjoy the tone, like the way they came out so well, so smoothly. And as much as I know that I'm capable and confident of doing it again, I just enjoy the way that some of those videos came out so much that it just won't be the same. And I know it will be better, but it's kind of like when you hear a beautiful note, you're like, God. So yeah, but I was thinking this would be done. So I have two ideas. One is the hash value, right? So if you're into information security and whatnot, they tell you that to check the integrity of a file, right, or data. basically to see if it's been tampered or not, what you do is compare the hash value that you have with the current file right now and the one that it should be right now. Just kind of back up. Hash value is essentially, um, think of it as the essence of the video, right? So if you took in, or the essence of data, right? So if you took the data, took the video, whatever, the file, and then broke it down into everything that it is, you get a number, and that's what the hash value is, right? It's kind of like for humans, the DNA, right? Like your DNA is all that you are. Now, as I always say, there is no way that we can ever replicate you, right? And that's why we're all unique. We are all little special snowflakes, as much as people try to tell you otherwise. Because the you that you are, is at the end of the day game changer because of soul, because of mind, right? As the Buddhists call it, because of life, because you're a sentient being. Meaning, we could copy everything that you are physically, but the life experiences, the viewpoints, the insights, the spiritual wisdoms, the memories, the things that you went through can never be replicated. The more than anything else, those are the things that make you who you are, right? The things you went through, the things you learned, gave you and taught you and blessed you with a particular set of viewpoints and perspectives and mindsets that enable you to see the world in a very particular and special way. And so, as much as science can be good at replicating the 99% that is physical, that point, whatever, as little as people try to make it, that is the fucking game changer, because that is your true essence. The rest of it, the physical stuff, is just, like we say, the matter, it's the form. And at the end of the day, it is not you, right? It's not who you are. You are the conscious operator. And that's why meditation is so fucking powerful, because it, like, continuously brings you back to that level of awareness, that level that's like, beyond your thoughts, beyond your words. As you're meditating, so you sit there and you're breathing, right? You're breathing, and then slowly but surely, it allows you to like separate yourself between the physical part and then the spiritual. So the thoughts and blah blah blah, the sensations that you are even experiencing, you slowly start becoming aware of that you're experiencing, because now instead of having all this stimulus, you're focused on this. To, oh, it's almost like there's this thing, this space, whatever you want to call it, that is above all of that. And that's the fucking soul, the conscious operator. The level of reality, I mean, the part of yourself that is you, that is actually in control of everything. And so by consciously bringing you back to that thing, to that soul, to that highest level of operation that is you, that actually controls everything, that from which everything goes, you're able to actually maintain perspective and easily gain altitude in particularly troubled moments, right? When shit hits fans of people, you freaking out like everyone else. You're just like, oh, my thoughts are telling me this, but I can still be calm. But, so to bring it back to the YouTube, so that's the hash value is essentially it's like a string of numbers that literally give everything that video file is. It's like a way of representing it, and I call it the essence of the file, right? Now, I know that caching, right? So what caching is, people who don't know, it's essentially, so when you go on a website, like maybe the first time, it takes a little while, and then the second time around it loads a lot faster. the reason why is most of the time caching is taking place. So to kind of break it down, every time you go on a website, what's actually happening is your computer is calling or asking the server to display that website. Now, the server, what it has to do to display that website, has to call upon the images, the text, and any media assets that have to come into play to make that website. So it pulls on all those things, puts it together, and then displays it back to you. Like, here you go, right? Now, what caching does is, instead of the server doing that every single time, what it does is, once it creates that website, it creates what's called a cache file, which is essentially, and you can think of it as creating or saving a copy of what was made to display that website, so that the person next time around, the server doesn't have to make those, do all that stuff again. It doesn't have to call upon the assets and whatnot. It can already just have an already made version of the website, and the person can just load that. So by doing that, you're saving a fuck ton of time and easing the load on the resources, the digital resources and the work that the server is doing. So that's how caching works, right? Now, what I was saying is, I know that most cache files, I actually went through the YouTube API a while ago and even looked at the way that a video is made, right? Now, I may be wrong, but I believe that every time you access a YouTube video, you actually have a cache file generated, right? So one idea I had was, we could recover the content by using the hash value from the cache file from the YouTube video, right? Now, I don't know if this is feasible or not. Again, these are just ideas that I had in my head, just kind of throwing it out there. But you grab that hash value, and then you use it to essentially recreate the whole file. And then from there, you can, as it's doing that, once it's recreated, you just simply take the link, or you upload the recreated content in a particular link, and then you tie that link to a recover button that you put in the YouTube interface. And so now once a person clicks that, they're doing the recovering process and giving the link to the upload link to where the recovered media is stored. That's one way. I don't know if that's feasible or not, but I thought I'd throw it out there. The second way is something I gleaned from the upload process. So essentially, every time you upload a video, what happens is YouTube generates a link that says, okay, here's where the video was uploaded, right? And then also, it gets entered in the database, right? And then once it gets entered in the database, it's given, or there's a salt key that's applied to the link. Now, I may be wrong in my sequencing or even my explaining of this, but this is just what my intuition is telling me. But so essentially, a salt key is what you add to a file, or all your contents in your database has a way, or has a precaution from hacking, right? So if someone gains unauthorized access to your database and they start peering through your files and whatnot, the salt key will kind of deter the attacker, or it would essentially be another layer of security from that prevents the attacker from gaining the real value of your information, right? So, kind of bring this together. Like, databases tend to have, it's not just like perfect letters, but it's like E, Y, capital J, O, A, G, V, T, Z, V, 9, U, W, something like that, right? But if you know that if you gain this key or if you gain this code or whatever, you can actually type it into something else and it gives you access to the content, right? So that's usually how things are saved in databases. Now, instead of just putting in that key as it is, you add an extra, you add a piece called a salt key, and it's just a randomly generated set of characters that are essentially tacked to to each entry in the database that essentially add a buffer or a layer of security or protection to every database entry. So it's like a way of saying, okay, even if this guy gains access, he still needs to figure out. Um, he doesn't have access to the thing because he still needs to remove. Like you can think of it as like the fluff that prevents him from gaining the real value of whatever it is, right? But what I was thinking is that um, if we remove, so when someone clicked recover on the button, they would essentially be given the the database, the API would access that value, remove the hash key, and then be given, like working backwards, be given the link that YouTube originally created when the video was uploaded, and then the recover would essentially it will go backwards, right? So when you upload a video, you upload it, YouTube generates a download link, then um, the the video is, before it gets entered in a database, it's applied a hash key and then saved into the database. So it would go backwards, and then you would get your piece of content. So that's another idea I had. And I don't know if any of this is feasible, or even if I'm 100% correct, but from what I felt, it sounded, and from just the research I did in the past, I felt like I was onto something. So I just thought I'd share that. But anyways, that was that. And then, so yeah, it's been interesting last week, just going back and forth. Mad respect to people that are constantly traveling, because now I know what to go through. I fucking miss my bed so much. But also something else that was just like, I just kind of got really just upset by. So I went shopping to just buy food at Safeway, and like it just dawned on me that now I understand why all this shit's happening in California. Why like they just lost an NFL team. Why businesses that should be fucking booming aren't, and the ones that are right. Like Tesla and Elon Musk, Apple and Google. Because at the end of the day, I realize that it's because they take care of their people, right? You can't have a booming business with sad people, with people who are starving. You just can't. I would say if you set up the environment to where the conditions are fruitful, you can only gain good fruits, right? So what am I talking about? So I went to Safeway and I was like, bacon is like $5.99. I'm like, what the fuck? And like in Texas, it's a lot cheaper. And like in my head, I was like, this is such bullshit. Like this is why people are not doing as well as they should be, because they're fucking hungry. They're fucking starving. And just because you let me smoke weed doesn't mean that I'm not starving anymore, bro. Like, when your body doesn't have any calories, your body doesn't have any calories. That's just fucking it, like, at the end of the day. And yeah, you can be vegan. I don't mind that. But, like, when being a vegan comes at the expense of the fucking country's money, like the country's GDP, the fucking country's well-being, then it becomes a problem, you know? Like, no one say you didn't have to buy meat, but literally talking shit on people and like manipulating things to where now they're forced to not be able to eat meat and buy vegetables is just a fucked up way of going about things. And I'll say it here, just once and for all, so people understand. I'm not just razzing on veganism. The reason why is because fundamentally it's not healthy for you. Meaning, as much as you do work and say that, yeah, you can get all your vitamins and minerals from all these other sources, there's something that can only be gleaned from real food, from real animal source, from real meat, right? Some of you guys know this, obviously, amino acids, you need 9 to get a complete protein. And some of those amino acids can't be gleaned from fucking plants and the fucking multivitamins. No matter how good science gets, the reason why is because it comes from soul. Sentient beings provide spiritual atoms, and these atoms manifest in particular vitamins and minerals and nutrients that literally help the life force of your body. So, just because you're like, oh yeah, let's save the fucking tree, and it's so like it just annoys me when people are like, oh yeah, let's make people pay for plastic bags, but then and they make it seem like yeah they're really conscious about their resources, but then literally they leave their plate uneaten because their fucking body is convulsing, because it's starving, and because it doesn't have all the minerals that it needs. Like, it just makes me so mad. Like, if you were saying something and then you were living it and you're actually benefiting from it wholeheartedly, not just half, meaning when people are looking at you, it looks good, but then at home you're like dying, then yeah. But if you're not and you're saying all this shit, it's just fucking everyone up. Because when one person's doing something bad, the whole suffers, right? And the thing is, people are always like, cost of living. Cost of living is bullshit. It's an imaginary term created by someone to try to rationalize him stealing. Because that's literally what it is. When you're taking money from the retained earnings, you're fucking stealing, right? What am I talking about? And this is why Trump wins in his business. It's not magic. It's just being conscious of the things that you're doing and always making the right decisions, and understanding that just because something good is happening doesn't mean that it's for you to like take advantage of it. So, say for example, you just got a nice windfall in your business, so you landed a huge client because God tests, right? If He wants to give you something epic, like a golden lamp, like a reality shaping piece of technology, or a different kind of wealth, because there's different kinds of money. There's spiritual wealth, there's energetic, there's idea wealth. Like, I'll get into it. I'm actually gonna make a video that's talking about it'll be talking about stocks, businesses, the global economy, market, and your role in this, right? But the gist of it is, it comes down to farmers, right? Because farmers are the game changers. They're like the rulers, essentially. But anyways, so God tests. He gives you all this. He's like, here's a fat check, $100,000. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna do the right thing, declare the right portion of tax, and then pay your expenses through it, and then leave the rest as it should be, right? Now, instead of doing that, a fucked up manager comes along. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna take wrongfully, meaning the CEO didn't even give me this. He didn't say I could do it. I'm just gonna take 20K from that, 30K, whatever, because I feel like I deserve it, even though he didn't. right? He did absolutely nothing in this client coming in. The client literally, God, whatever you want to call it, literally decided, I'm going to test them out. Test their structural integrity. Test their integrity. See if they actually have it, right? So he gives them this 100K, and then instead of this manager leaving their fucking money, think of the Bible, in the Bible, when they're like, um, it's like when Abel and Cain, he'd be like, show me the produce of the week. And he's like, so that I may bless it. He's like, Lord, this is what I got. I got tomatoes. All these tomatoes. I got apples. Yeah. And that's what it is, retained earnings, right? It's like the fruits of your labor, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's to be touched. So this fucking manager now, instead of just doing the right thing and even going back to the CEO and telling him, yo, we just got a sick fucking windfall. What do you want us to do about it? He just decides to steal, right? Now, he thinks he got away with it because no one said anything. But in reality, it fucked everything up. Because now that money, instead of it maybe buying fucking better food, maybe providing a way for the workers, a day or a week of relaxation, maybe being able to get massage therapists to come in for a week, or maybe being able to have artists or performers come play because some of the best workers really enjoyed them, or most people in the company enjoyed these particular performers. Maybe it's even for, again, fucking food, being able to actually have their own cooks and whatnot, or even fucking tech, being able to upgrade our technology, upgrade the stuff that they're using, so that they can provide more value to their customers. So that now, when the graphic designer has like 10 projects on hand, and instead of him using an old Windows computer, he can upgrade to the latest Windows 10, or he's using an old Windows or even an old Mac and doesn't have much RAM, much processing power, and every time he starts working on a project, it takes him an hour instead of 10 minutes because of simply fucking computer lagging. He can now upgrade and get more processing power, or even an even better computer. All these things that would have been possible had that person not stolen, right? And because of that now, the fucking business as a whole suffers. It literally, instead of them being way ahead, they're like set way back. And the tragedy is that client, God, whatever, knows that that person did it. And he's on some level disappointed because if they had just done the right thing, that client probably would have enjoyed cultivating a relationship with them for the long term. If they thought that 100K was something, they would be mind blown by like the other monies that they get. Monies, maybe getting equity in a country or things like that. Like, it's so sad and just so disappointing to see how something as stupid as that can affect everyone, right? But so I go back to like the whole Safeway thing, and it's like, what the fuck? It's not cost of living. When I know the reason why you're pissed at farmers, it's not the farmer's fault for not wanting to sell to you because they caught on to your bullshit. Because they literally set in place a deal. I give you 10,000 oranges and you just pay $1. Imagine that. You get $10,000 for $1, and you turn around and you think you're clever by saying, you know what? I will price each orange at $1. Capitalism. That's not capitalism. That's you being fucking greedy. That's you, instead of being the hand through which the soul, through which God, through which whatever you want to call it moves, through which other people, through which the people can be taken care of, you greedily bullshit and take advantage of a situation that was never yours to begin with. And now, as a whole, everyone suffers. And now as a whole, people that need fucking food, like real food, are forced to like get drunk or get high to just drown away the fact that they're hungry, that drown away the fact that they're starving. And again, it's not, don't get mad by the fact that farmers, upon realizing that, decide, you know what, fuck you, fuck Safeway, whatever, I'm just gonna sell directly to the people. I'm gonna host events where people can come and they can buy their shit straight from me without having to deal with marked up prices. And don't tell me this bullshit about organic food. There's no such thing, to be completely honest. And let's break that down again. Organic literally means that someone took a seed, planted it in the soil, and reaped the fruits of the labor. That's all it means. Non-organic literally means the same thing. And the reason why Monsanto, and on some level, again, it's so crazy how like everything just works seamlessly in one way or the other, is because upon realizing that people were doing bullshit, the government went an extra level in intervening by, okay, you know what, let's cultivate the ecosystem to another degree, like to a higher degree, to where even if someone's fucking up, even if they have bad karma, for lack of a better word, even if their minds or thoughts or energy is fucking everyone up, let's make it to where it doesn't even matter, because from the get, the way that the soil will be, it will be fertile. We'll put things through the air to help make it, to help keep it fertile. We'll make the seeds from the get make it fertile if the operator is just, right? If the operator just is good, so to speak. So don't, there's not, I hate that bullshit. It's so annoying. It really is. And it sucks because the people who really wanted to help can see that, see through that. And on some level, they're just disappointed because something that they toiled and toiled and toiled for the sake of the good, for the sake of others, because they knew that people should eat oranges, should eat meat, should eat eggs, should eat a well-rounded diet, because it's life. They did all this thing, but now this one person comes about and tries to just bullshit everything because they're like, maybe they prefer one particular food. They think everyone should eat like them. And then they fucking start bullshitting everything around them to make it to where everyone's trying to be like them. And that, as a result, everyone suffers. Because now a company that should be making some epic shit can't, because their people aren't fed or they're starving. And because people are not fed or starving, they're in a lower state of consciousness, lower state of mind. And they're just so prone to getting pissed at each other, to getting into this stupid, petty bullshit politics, stupid bullshit office fights, and like just not raising themselves up. Rather, just literally it always feels like everything is a drag. Where entire neighborhoods now, instead of them flourishing and becoming suburbs, literally never develop beyond that point of what people call a ghetto. Because everything is energetic. Everything is a spiritual thing first. And when the spirit is not growing, the spirit doesn't move, nothing moves. So ghettos is just a lack of spiritual evolution, right? That's literally it. And the reason why is because of causes as I just mentioned. People are hungry. They don't have access to like food. Not just good food, just food. Like they can't buy meat. And now they're pissed all the time. And so people who notice this try to take matters in their own hands. And wrongly so, because killing, murdering, fighting, all that shit, it's never a good thing. You know, it just causes unnecessary drama. But that's how gangs and gangsters come about. Because if you think about it, on some level, they're trying to provide for their gang members or their people. right? And it's sad. It really is. It just, I don't know, it's pretty sad. But yeah, that's what's on my mind. Kind of rambled, but cultivate a relationship with people and do the right thing, and everything will be bountiful. That's really it. The people that have the best stuff will always want to sell to you because they know you're real and they know that you won't be bullshitting life itself, but you'll actually be doing the right thing. And the world that you'll be able to create will be fruitful, not just short term, but long term. When everyone's happy, when the people is happy, life can only go up. And the funniest part at the end is you will be happy because you'll be able to go to bed that night and be like, damn, I'm a fucking good guy. I'm a fucking good girl. And you'll be able to sleep. And when you can sleep, your life force can only go up. You can only look forward to the next day. You can only look forward to the good that you'll have the opportunity of doing. You can only be hopeful and only be cultivating a fruitful future. But when you're not, that's when chaos emerges. That's when fucked up shit that should have never happened occurs. I can only imagine what the fucking Raiders and those athletes had to go through. But it's like that's when stupid shit happens. And it's nothing complicated. Just have empathy. Treat everyone like you would want to be treated. And remember at the end, you ain't shit. You're just the thing that is there to help others at that moment in time. Nothing more, nothing less. No matter how high up you are, how low up you are, you can always be replaced. So always do the right thing and maintain that level of like service and integrity and just love and wanting others' well-being. Right? I define trust as having others' well-being sometimes even more than your own. And when you cultivate that, when you have that in mind, I want others to trust me. How can I make others trust me? By showing them or demonstrating through my thoughts, through my words, and my action that I am a person that it can be trusted. And when that happens, my God, like your world can only become epic. Reality itself can only be phenomenal. But that was quite a mouthful. Anyways, hope you guys got something out of this. And as always, swag the fuck out. Super Mario. T.